Hello, I'm Nathan Judo. I'm here with Shrewsbury Town reporter Mr. Lewis Cox. Lewis, Liverpool 1, Shrewsbury 0. Wasn't meant to be, was it?
No, sadly not. No, you know, a real feeling of guttingness, really. You know, I think the 8,000 that have left their head. I want to say have a bit of pride. I think you got some of that in your fan reaction in the video, but ultimately, I don't think Town did enough to get anything tonight. About 20-minute spell in the second half where obviously they had the VAR goal, but a bit of a first half no-show, wasn't it?
Yeah. It feels like an opportunity missed this, doesn't it?
Massively.
I mean, I understand that some makers have spoken afterwards and said about tiredness, etc. But you're playing at Anfield. You're playing, you know, it's not the Liverpool first team. It's not the 23s. It's the 21s. It feels like this was a great opportunity for them to progress.
Yeah, it was. And we expected the Liverpool kids to have a lot of the ball, academy football. You know, they're good young players. But did Town do enough in that first half to really impose themselves physically on the Liverpool side? I don't think they did really. I don't think they got near him first half, did they? Not saying that Liverpool did a lot. I think they barely tested Max O'Leary, but you know, Shrewsbury were chasing shadows. Sounds a bit harsh, but I think they were really. And Sam Ricketts obviously pointed to the physical side of it. That, you know, it's game number 39 of the season, so we couldn't get near them. Is that a valid excuse? I mean, yes, they've played a lot of games. Don't get me wrong. It's a small squad. They've got injuries, but you would have thought coming out here. Yeah. First half, they would have been as up for it as you can get.
Yeah, of course. Like you say, first half was a non-event. Let's move on to the second half, though, because it got a lot better. They came out, obviously, you know, reinvigorated. Ricketts has obviously read them the riot act at half-time.
I think he did, yeah.
They've come out flying, and of course, we've got to talk about the Sean Warley. I mean, if there's anyone who's going to score with Sean Warley, the goal that was not meant to be.
Yeah, boyhood red, you know, Scouser. What a shame, what a moment. We were just saying in the press box, we were begging for that moment, weren't we? Just, you know, even if it went to penalties, just to have some sort of moment.
Yeah, of course.
And it came that way just before the hour. You know, Daniel Udo just come on from the bench. Great cross, Dave Edwards denied. Warley nods it in. Anfield Road end, 8,000 Slocans, Bedlam.
Sure, it was amazing. Flares, crazy. It was fantastic.
90 seconds later, you know, obviously Shrewsbury fans aren't used to VAR at all. Get the announcements, and then actually it's offside from 6-7 passes back. You know, 10-15 seconds for a harsh Scott Goldborn trailing leg that doesn't really impact the goal.
A goal that will probably be given next season, but that doesn't help Shrewsbury tonight, does it?
No.
Look, I mean, one own goal is bad enough. If you're going to give this side in 2 games 2 own goals, then you're in trouble. And another, avoidable own goal, you've got to think.
Yeah, I mean, you just feel for Roshan Williams, don't you? You know, former Man United kid coming here. You know, it had some nervy moments in the first half. All of Shrewsbury players did, but yeah, an awful moment in front of the Kop, you know, a full house. He was wary, he had young Harvey Elliott behind him. He didn't really know where Max O'Leary was. Probably thought, I need to head this somewhere. Yeah. Probably thought he was heading it back to his keeper. Keeper's in no man's land, and it's just a galling way to lose, isn't it? Any game, but especially this. Obviously, Donald Love's own goal in the first tie.
Sure.
What an awful way! You know, you could have taken a Curtis Jones 30-yard wonder strike, couldn't you, or Nico Williams, the excellent right back. But no, it was that, which is even tougher to accept. But I think, you know, judging from the response of Town fans leaving here, I think they're disappointed by large part of their side's display. I think missed opportunities right for you, but more so just how they couldn't do it on this big occasion. Town, they couldn't get up to speed and do what they needed to do, which I suppose only the players know why. Yeah,
and look, I mean, playing Chelsea in the next round as well, you know, away from home. I mean, everything was there for them. And yeah, Liverpool are a good side. They've got some good, talented youngsters. But this side only a few days back drew 2-2 with Wolves under 23s. You know, they are beatable. There's some players who I think will be a bit frustrated with their performance when they look back on it tonight.
Yeah, first half I thought, well, we struggled to pick out anyone from a Shrewsbury point of view. Did we with it? They just couldn't get Warley and Lang into it. It seemed like there was, you know, a little ball over the defence was on with Warley's speed, but it just was not happening. You know, maybe credit Liverpool, I don't know, but certainly whatever was said at half time worked. I thought between minutes 45 and, you know, 65, 70, Town with a better team.
I think they're the better side. Yeah.
Liverpool still looked dangerous. Don't get me wrong, but obviously there was the goal. You know,
you want to have a go, don't you? You want to go and have a go, and that's what they did in the second half, especially the first half of the second half.
I mean, I never, once that went in 75 minutes, I thought that's, you know, that's hard to come back from. I didn't expect a response. Obviously, they couldn't quite muster it, which is such a shame because, you know, those away fans were amazing and deserved something.
I mean, that's something to remember. Into 8,000 fans, you know, at that end behind the goal, it's just fantastic.
Unquestionably, I think it's the biggest away following for Shrewsbury since the late 70s, if that's correct. I believe it is, which is an incredible experience for those here tonight. The first time here in the club's 134-year history. I mean, it's a real one to say you were here. Yes, we know Klopp wasn't. His first team wasn't, and that
he was the youngest Liverpool side ever fielded.
Yeah, youngest captain, 7 teenagers, 3 debutants. It should have been a real chance. You know, this Liverpool team lost 5-0 at Villa.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't quite know how good or bad or what this Liverpool team were going to be like, did we? We didn't really have any idea, and I think we expected them to have a lot of the ball early on, but we were all very surprised by Shrewsbury's sort of reluctance to impose themselves, and it looked like they just got caught up in it a bit, Shrewsbury, I would say, the first half. That's what I think, and it took them some words, some thought to reinvigorate and reevaluate, and they came out fighting second half. Look, it looked like they were 1-0 up, didn't it? It looked like they'd done enough to progress or certainly warrant the lead, but when it gets to 70, 75 minutes, it's end to end, but you're starting to think extra time's looming here. We're getting, and you know, it probably would have taken Shrews to hold on and force penalties. I know they had the goal, but certainly when that was chalked off, you're thinking, right, get to penalties.
Yeah. But no time to feel sorry for themselves. They've got two important games in the league now, haven't they? And they've got to pick up because it's been pretty desperate as of late.
Well, you know, the cup has been great. You know, it's been a bit of a fairy tale playing Liverpool. That game at the Meadow, you know, the 2-2 was live forever in the memory, really. Jason Cummings' double, but league form, you know, 7 without a win, that it can't really be dressed up. And they've slipped down in the rankings. I think it's 13 points now between them and the playoffs. That looks a big ask. Yes, they have a couple of games in hand, but they need to win them. They play Saturday, Tuesday at the Meadow against sides below them in MK Dons and Accrington Stanley, and they're huge, really, because you don't want that run of winless games in the league extending to 9, because then things start. I mean, 9's a terrible draft, isn't it, of league wins, and you don't want the season to be over, and you worry that if they can't win, you know, get 6 points from these, or at least 4, that the season could tail off into nothingness now this cup runs over. So Ricketts has got a massive job to lift them up and you know, refocus them, sharpen their minds. 54,000 here today, 8,000 away fans. I mean, it's a big ask to get them to go again at home in the league against MK Dons, but it's got to be done because it's the bread and butter, and otherwise the season will just fizzle. Yeah, not meant to be for Shrewsbury tonight, but plenty of great memories. It's Liverpool 1, Shrewsbury 0. For all the post-match reaction, make sure you log on to shropshirestars.com.